It was one of those days when everything just felt heavier than it should. My shoulders were sore from hours hunched over the desk, my back stiff from driving across town for a project I barely wanted to be part of, and my mood, well, let's just say it wasn't great. I had just moved into a new apartment complex in Santa Rosa, California, and between the boxes, the bills, and the silence of an unfamiliar space, I was craving some sort of relief. Anything. That's when I met her. Her name was Madison. She lived 2 doors down, and we had only exchanged a few casual hellos when I passed her by the mailboxes or in the parking lot. She was the kind of woman who had that effortless charm, a soft voice, warm smile, and a way of looking at you like she saw more than just your face. That afternoon, I was struggling to carry a box of books up the stairs, and she stepped in without hesitation. "Let me help," she said, already lifting one side of the box. "Thanks," I replied, slightly embarrassed. "I guess I didn't plan this move too well." "No one ever does," she said with a laugh. We set the box down inside my apartment, and I offered her water. She politely declined but stood near the doorway, observing the chaos of unpacked boxes and makeshift furniture arrangements. "You okay?" she asked, her tone suddenly gentle. I nodded, hesitating. "Yeah, just sore. Long day." She tilted her head and smiled. "I'm actually a certified massage therapist. I run a little private setup from home. If you ever need a real massage, let me know." I raised an eyebrow, unsure if she was serious. "I mean it," she said, catching my expression. "No pressure. Just neighbors helping neighbors." "Sounds tempting," I said, chuckling. "I might take you up on that." 2 days later, I did. I knocked on her door early Saturday afternoon. Madison opened it wearing a loose-fitting blouse and yoga pants, her hair tied back into a soft bun. "Right on time," she said brightly. "Come in." Her apartment was the complete opposite of mine, warm, neat, filled with calming scents and soft jazz playing from an unseen speaker. A professional massage table was set up near the window, next to a tray of essential oils and fresh towels. "I usually charge," she said, handing me a clipboard with a short consent form. "But this one's on the house. First neighbor special." "Seriously?" I asked, looking at her in surprise. She nodded. "Just one thing though." I paused. "What's the catch?" She smiled, that same mysterious smile I'd seen the day we met. "Just be open. Not every massage is just about the body." That sentence sat with me strangely, but I brushed it off. Maybe she meant something about energy or relaxation or therapy. I didn't want to overthink it. She handed me a robe and told me to change in the bathroom. When I came back, the lights were dimmed further, and a soft lavender scent filled the air. I laid down on the table, and she started working shoulders, back, neck, her touch firm yet precise, and within minutes, I could feel the stress melting away. Madison was good. Too good, actually. She didn't talk much as she worked, only asking a few times about the pressure, or if I was comfortable. My thoughts began to drift. I forgot about work, deadlines, and everything outside the walls of her apartment. It was like floating. About halfway through the massage, she placed her hands on my lower back and paused. "Do you want to know what the catch was?" she asked softly. I blinked, my eyes still closed. Sure." She let out a gentle laugh and leaned down slightly, her voice near my ear. "You have to let me read you." I opened one eye. "Read me." "I mean your energy. Your emotions." I sort of do intuitive healing. It's part of how I connect with people during massage. Some call it alternative therapy, some call it nonsense, but I believe in it. I wasn't sure how to respond. It was weird, sure. But she wasn't being pushy or creepy. Just different. "All right," I said after a pause. "Go ahead." Madison resumed her work, slower now, like she was tracing invisible threads beneath my skin. Then she began speaking softly, not asking questions, but telling me things. "You carry tension in your shoulders like someone who holds a lot of responsibility. Someone who doesn't trust easily." My breath caught slightly. That was true. You've been disappointed. Not just in people but in timing. Like things never seem to go your way when it matters most. I opened my eyes. She wasn't looking at me, just calmly continuing her movements. "And you're searching for something, Not success, not money, but peace. Like you're tired of the noise. How are you? I started to ask. She smiled faintly. I told you it's part of what I do. The rest of the massage went on in silence. But a different kind of silence. The kind that feels like someone has seen past the surface and acknowledged something you didn't know needed to be seen. When she finished, she placed a warm towel across my back and whispered, "You're good. You just forgot that for a while." I sat up slowly, feeling not just relaxed but lighter. It was more than physical relief. It was emotional, even spiritual in a way I hadn't expected. She handed me a bottle of water and smiled again. That was the catch. A little more than just a massage. "No kidding," I said, half laughing, half in awe. "That was different." "Good different or weird different?" I shook my head. "Good. Really good." After that day, we saw each other more often. Not in a romantic way, not at first. Just neighbors who shared something deeper than small talk. Madison would wave as I left for work, sometimes leave little notes at my door with breathing tips or quotes that somehow always fit my mood. I'd bring her fresh coffee from a local place she liked whenever I had time. Over time, I began to open up to her. About my failed startup, the broken engagement that had haunted me for over a year, the stress I buried under deadlines and late-night takeout. She never judged. She just listened. Sometimes, that's more than enough. A few months later, I found myself in her living room again. This time, not for a massage, but just to talk. She had lit candles and brewed herbal tea, and we sat across from each other on floor cushions. "I think you were supposed to move here," she said quietly. "You needed this pause." "Maybe," I said, sipping the tea. "I didn't know I needed it until I met you." She looked down for a moment, her fingers tracing the edge of her mug. "That's the other catch," she said. "What is?" "Sometimes, when you help someone heal, you start healing too." We sat in silence for a while, the city outside humming faintly beyond the windows. That night, I didn't go home. We didn't cross any lines. We just sat, two people who'd found something rare, a connection not built on attraction or convenience, but understanding. The massage was the start. But the catch? The catch was realizing that healing sometimes comes from the most unexpected places. And people. It's been a year now. I still live in the same building. I still see Madison, though our lives have grown in different directions. She now teaches mindfulness workshops, and I finally started my own creative agency from home. And every time someone asks me how things turned around, I smile and think of that quiet afternoon, the lavender scent, and the woman who offered me a massage, but gave me something far more meaningful instead.